What's up, guys? Here today with a contest entry. This time I'm doing the entry to the Ground Zero Salem contest that he has going on here. Obviously, if you guys don't know Ground Zero Salem, first off, what's wrong with you? But Pat makes awesome videos. He'll be linked up in the description, obviously tagged as well. So this is a contest he has going on where he wants the people involved who want to make a response, obviously, to make a video about records that you've had evolving opinions about over the years. And I sat here, looked at my shelf, and I picked out about three opinions that have evolved to be good, and three opinions that have devolved into, I wouldn't say disdain, but maybe like just not being as excited about. So today, Moose Rule Brown Ale, good beer, Montana Brewing Company. I've bought like a mixed pack of different stuff that they had. They had one of these. They had a seasonal beer, which turned out to be a winter ale because obviously it's February. And what else is there? Some kind of IPA, something else like that. But yeah, cool cans. I like the nice vibrant green. Looks good in Australia. Nice and foamy mustache as usual. So, what we got down here. Playing in the background is Ursprung with the album Passover. This is a Latvian kind of pagan black metal band. I would say it's definitely got a lot in common with the early Emperor material, as you could probably figure out based off of what you hear in the background. I mean, it's really good stuff. I haven't listened to this in a couple of years, and I've only owned it for a few years. So this is probably like the third time I've ever heard it, which tends to happen when you accumulate stuff, obviously, as collectors we're all well aware. It's good stuff. I was going to play some Faceless Entity, but this just caught my eye on the shelf. So, 6 albums that I've had evolving opinions about. I want to make this not stupid long, like I like to ramble on and make videos. I'm going to start off on a good note here. It's a good beer, man. You ever see this Moose Drool? Get some. It's real tasty. It's kind of like, obviously, if you don't know anything about brown ales, it's kind of like a darker lager taste, a little bit before a porter. So, yeah, I used to kind of hate this. I used to think it was sloppy, kind of stupid. I didn't really get the point of it. I'll show you guys the whole package since this is one sexy digipack. I didn't understand why Carcass was so beloved, why it is that Carcass had such an influence on so many genres. I don't know. I still much prefer, oh, it keeps going, eh? I much prefer the grind era of Carcass, being this and Symphonies of Sickness. The Necroticism, I think, might be their apex, like the top shelf that they ever got. But this album, man, I didn't understand grindcore up until this past year, and it's just something that I thought was unlistenable almost, which is hilarious, because I would listen to some filthy, like, raw black metal, you know, basement dweller living in your mama's basement in the, you know, in the early 90s kind of black metal, and then I would put this on and I'd be like, what is this crap? So I don't know what my deal really was, but since then I have definitely fallen in love with this. Whenever I like to screw with people when they have like an Alexa, like the other day I was house sitting and I just yelled, Alexa, play Genital Grinder by Carcass, and my fiance was livid. She's like, no, it's not. It happens a lot, but you know, we keep ourselves entertained, you know. So yeah, I mean, you start off with Genital Grinder and then it goes right into regurgitating of giblets. It's just a filthy, filthy record, and I couldn't be more happy to say that I'm finally a proper Carcass fan. I'm not as huge into like the later era because obviously it's a lot different. When I'm in a melodic death metal mood, I'll go listen to some Heartwork or Swan Song. I do like those albums. They're just not anything that amazing to me, which is probably blasphemy in the eyes of some. Now, an album that I think has kind of fallen to the wayside in my opinions, this Toilet Earth by GWAR. I used to be a big GWAR guy. When I was really young, I would say back in the Xfinity, Comcast On Demand, you go into metal and look at the music videos section. This is one of the earliest bands I got into. Like, you find my old MP3 player from like 3rd grade, there was a bunch of GWAR all over it. There was like GWAR and Slayer and all that kind of crap. But I really, really liked it an awful lot. But nowadays, man, it's not that I don't like GWAR. I get the point of being kind of goofy, and this band is super theatrical, and there's an awful lot of gimmicks, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, it's cool. It got them super famous. It's just not something I wind up reaching for really ever these days. I don't know what my deal is, man. Maybe I'm just getting old. My inner boomer is showing in my early 20s. So, that's GWAR. So, number 3, something that I've really, really, really grown to love over the past week, I would say, like a ton. I've always liked this band, but it's always been a passing thing. It was, early on, I really heard about this band from guys like Count Blagareth and maybe Dankbuds and Black Metal, definitely Canyon Bickle, Craig Legase. But this is War Funeral March by Vlad Tapas. This is their second demo from '94. This also has the first demo from '93, the promo, on here, and that one is borderline unlistenable. The second demo being the Rehearsal Winter '93. It's got some really good stuff on there. I mean, like in Holocaust to the Natural Darkness and Massacre song from the Devastated Lands are really cool songs, but the production is rough. Obviously, it's the whole point. I mean, Los Legions Noir was trying to do this whole like, they're basically like the textbook of like, we're super cult, I don't want you here kind of people, which is entertaining in itself. I kind of get where they're coming from with their idea of stylistic exclusivity, I guess. So basically, this opens. I'm mostly just talking about War Funeral March. Openings with War Funeral March in the Gray Mist of the Full Moon Night. Absolutely love it. But my favorite song on here is Returning to My Old Battlegrounds. I was just listening to this the other day. And it's just super fun, man. It's like stupid raw, because obviously you guys have all heard with Vlad Tapas. If you haven't, you have heard Vlad Tapas. If you haven't, first off, go get on YouTube. You can just look up a whole Los Legions Noir playlist, but specifically War Funeral March. You can get this one and you listen to it, man, and it's got some like nice punky kind of almost early hardcore tinges to it, but it's got this really cool black metal melodic sensibility to it. I don't know if these guys had anything to do with take trading with, the Norwegian bands based off of what they're doing. I presume they definitely did, especially being this early, 93 and 94. These guys, they were just making some sick black metal, man. This is out on Undercar, by the way, which I don't think these are official reissues of these demos whatsoever, but I've just grown to really, really enjoy this. I really love I don't want to call it sophomoric because it's well composed. It's really well put together. It's just the production makes it rough, and that was something that kind of kept me from getting into it early on, when I was about 16, 17, when I first started listening to this kind of stuff. I might have even been 15, I don't remember. I found Count Blagareth from that Stages of Decomposition review he did, so 2014. I don't know why I don't use handles. I do the same thing with coffee mugs. But yeah, Vlad Tapas. Now, something that I have had an opinion that has really been muted, I would say. I really used to love this record. I used to listen to it all the time. Injustice for All. Who doesn't know this? I mean, it's a thrash classic, I would say. But man, I don't care, I know this is good. I really like the To Live Is To Die album or song, but I really love like Dyer's Eve and Blackened, and I kind of like The Shortest Straw, but just the rest of the album, man, this is kind of a snoozer for me. I don't know. Maybe I've over-listened to it. I can't really tell. Because I haven't tried listening to this in forever. And if I want to listen to Metallica, I'm in the mood for like a day or 2 days. And I'll listen to Ride the Lightning, Master, and like maybe occasionally Kill 'Em All if I'm in like a speed metal mood. Even though I have a bunch of speed metal to listen to otherwise. So that's probably why it doesn't get touched. But there's just... I don't know. This doesn't have the same magic. This isn't as... I don't want to call it mystical because that has a kind of a different atmospheric implication to it. Because Metallica is anything but mystical. Especially in the sense of, you know, I like nerdy black metal for the most part. This is just, I don't know, meh, I guess. Which is I feel like almost not doing them a good service for, you know, such an iconic band with such a huge fan base, all that. Whatever, you guys know anything about Metallica already. We're going to start with another good improvement of opinions, I would say. This is Dark Medieval Times by Satyricon. I'm not putting any of you guys on anything underground here. This is definitely scraping the surface of loving metal. Vlad Tapas is kind of underground, I guess, and this is definitely something a lot of people don't know. Definitely go listen to this, though. Urskamung Passover. Like I said, Latvian black metal. Big fan. Check it out. Really like this. I might have to keep this in the rotation for a little while. But speaking of good atmospheric black metal, I thought this was boring and kind of generic when I first listened to it. It didn't sound welcome. Sorry about that, guys. My phone just decided it wanted to stop recording for whatever dumb reason. But like what I was saying, Satyricon, I didn't think this was a really well composed piece of music. It kind of has, you know, those kind of start and stop moments where there's a lot of like cut-offs and then a lot of acoustic parts, which is cool. It's really nice and pretty and atmospheric, but I didn't think it flowed really well. It's not until I listened to the second record that I really got an appreciation for what they were doing here. This is definitely the building blocks for that kind of later borderline atmospheric, definitely an influence on atmospheric black metal style that they were doing for the first two albums, and I think Nemesis Divina, I don't know how to properly pronounce that one, definitely is a little bit of a change in sound, but then obviously they got real different real quick. But yeah, I would definitely put this in something that I've grown to love a lot more, and something that I've grown to love the style a lot more. I think it works well now. At first, I didn't understand what was going on. I thought it was kind of sloppy. But Satyricon's Dark Medieval Times. And the last one, I've mentioned on several occasions that I definitely was a big stoner and doom metal guy when I was younger, especially in high school and middle school. But this band is something that I've always really liked. This is obviously Sleepstoke's Volker album. It's obviously one big long track about caravans of pot going like across space or like moons or some crap like that. It's cool. I think it's nice, but like I get bored. I get bored real quick with it. It doesn't hold a candle to Sleep's Holy Mountain in any way for me, but it's just nothing I ever reach for. So I wouldn't really say I don't like it. I can't muster the gumption to actually make myself sit there and listen to it. And like, I don't smoke weed or anything, so I don't care. It's not my thing. Go for whatever you want, do your thing, but this just doesn't fit with me. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So if you guys have not subscribed to Ground Zero Salem, what are you doing? Go down there, scope that out, enter the contest if you want. It's a lot of fun. This is a cool video. I like nerding out a little bit. Obviously nothing super underground here. Go listening to some Latvian black metal. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep it greasy. I'll catch you next time.